How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just want to come on here for a while and give my review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark from tonight, which is August 24th, 2021. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match one, it was Thunder Rosa versus Heather Reckless. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Thunder Rosa went over with the Bavarian Calavera choke. That was match one, by the way. Match two, it was the Varsity Blondes, which are Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison, versus Ren Jones and Braden Lee. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Varsity Blondes went over cause Griff Garrison pinned Ren Jones with the springboard clothesline from Brian Pillman Jr. That was match two, by the way. Match three, it was Powerhouse Hobbs versus Sean Dean. That was a quick match, but the ending to it, Powerhouse Hobbs went over with the town business. Well, after the match, Powerhouse Hobbs got Sean Dean up off the floor of the ring, and Hook was on the top rope, and Hook locked in the Dragon Sleeper on Sean Dean, holding him down, and Powerhouse Hobbs was beating the shit out of Sean Dean, and Ricky Starks was on stage and got on the microphone and was talking about how was pretty much egging Powerhouse Hobbs and Hook on to beat the shit out of Sean Dean, and Ricky Starks was talking shit towards Chicago, Illinois, and everything, and Ricky Starks was also going on about what Team Taz was going to do to Brian Cage and everything as well, which that was cool. Match four, that was match three, by the way. Match four, it was Dante Martin versus Five. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Dante Martin went over with a straightjacket Death Valley driver. That was match four, by the way. Match five, it was the Lucha Brothers, which are Ray Phoenix and Pena El Cerro Miedo, versus the Factory, which are Aaron Solo and Nick Camarado. That was a great match, but the ending to it, match five, it was the Lucha Brothers, which are Ray Phoenix and Pena El Cerro Miedo, versus the Factory, which are Aaron Solo and Nick Camarado. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Lucha Brothers went over cause Pena El Cerro Miedo pinned Aaron Solo with the assisted package pile driver from Pena El Cerro Miedo and Ray Phoenix. That was match five, by the way. Match six, it was the Dark Order, which are John Silver and 10, versus Isaiah Moore and Cal Hero. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Dark Order went over cause 10 pinned Isaiah Moore with the Tilt-A-Whirl Slam from John Silver. Also, the Lucha Brothers versus the Factory was a great match as well. But anyway, match seven, which was the main event, it was the Best Friends, which are Chuck Taylor, Orange Cassidy, and Wheeler Yuta, versus the Hardy Family Office, which are Matt Hardy, Angelico, and Jack Evans. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Best Friends went over cause Orange Cassidy pinned Angelico with a roll-up. Well, after the match, Angelico tried to attack Orange Cassidy, but Orange Cassidy moved out of the way, and Orange Cassidy executed the Orange Punch to Angelico and laid him out, while the rest of the Hardy Family Office, which are Matt Hardy, Jack Evans, The Blade, and The Bunny, all looked on outside the ring, and then the Best Friends, which are Chuck Taylor, Orange Cassidy, Wheeler Yuta, and Chris Statlander, all embraced a moment, celebrated and everything. That was cool. But besides the matches, Tony Schiavone interviewed Britt Baker, well, wait a minute. But besides the matches, AEW announced that Nyla Rose will be the first entrant in the 21-woman Casino Battle Royal to determine the number one contender for the AEW Women's title at the pre-show of All Out. That was cool. And Tony Schiavone interviewed Britt Baker, Rebel, and Jamie Hayter. Well, Britt Baker, Rebel, and Jamie Hayter came out while Tony Schiavone was in the ring, and Tony Schiavone was pretty much asking Britt Baker about Jamie Hayter's match against Red Velvet tomorrow night on AEW Dynamite and everything. And Britt Baker was saying, well, Tony, before we get to that, I gotta say, Chicago, Illinois is the home of many things. And it's also the place for a great hero and wrestler, which is me, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. And as far as Red Velvet goes, she got what was coming to her because she tried to ruin my moment after I beat her ass in the middle of this ring. So, Jamie Hayter, my problem solver, kicked her ass. And Chris Statlander, Britt Baker said, so Red Velvet, since she ruined my moment, Jamie Hayter beat her ass, and then I curb stomped her in this ring. And tomorrow night, Jamie Hayter is going to beat the shit out of Red Velvet again. Jamie, tell him. So Tony Schiavone got the microphone over to Jamie Hayter, and Jamie Hayter was saying, well, tomorrow night on AEW Dynamite, I face Red Velvet. And I will do to her on AEW Dynamite like I did on AEW Rampage and everything. And then Red Velvet came out, and Red Velvet pulled Jamie Hayter out of the ring and beat the shit out of her a little bit. But Jamie Hayter picked Red Velvet up and slammed her on the side of the ring. And then Jamie Hayter threw Red Velvet in the ring, and Jamie Hayter held Red Velvet down, and Britt Baker was getting ready to execute the curb stomp to Red Velvet, but Chris Statlander came out and came to Red Velvet's aid, but Britt Baker, Rebel, and Jamie Hayter retreated while Red Velvet and Chris Statlander stood tall in the ring, staring Britt Baker, Rebel, and Jamie Hayter down outside the ring and everything. That was cool. But besides all that, Taz, Excalibur, But besides all that, Taz and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. And Ricky Starks done guest commentary along with Taz and Excalibur during the matches of Thunder Rosa versus Heather Reckless, the Varsity Blondes versus Ren Jones and Braden Lee, and Powerhouse Hobbs versus Sean Dean. Ricky Starks done great on guest commentary. And the referees for the event were Mike Posey, Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay, Rick Knox refereed the match between Thunder Rosa versus Heather Reckless. Mike Posey refereed the match between the Varsity Blondes versus Ren Jones and Braden Lee. Paul Turner refereed the match between Powerhouse Hobbs versus Sean Dean. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Dante Martin versus Five. Paul Turner, that was Aubrey Edwards, by the way. Paul Turner refereed the match between the Lucha Brothers versus The Factory. That was Paul Turner, by the way. Rick Knox refereed the match between Rick Knox refereed the match between the Dark Order versus Isaiah Moore and Cal Hero. That It was Rick Knox, by the way, and Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between the Best Friends versus the Hardy Family Office. All the referees done awesome as usual. Now, the match card for tomorrow night's the match card for tomorrow night's All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite, it's going to be Matt Hardy versus Orange Cassidy, the Lucha Brothers, which are Penta El Cerro Miedo and Rey Fenix, versus the Varsity Blondes, which are Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison, in a tag team eliminator match. Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston, and Darby Allin versus the Wingmen, which are Ryan Nemeth, Cesar Bononi, and J.D. Drake. The Gun Club, which are Billy, Austin, and Colton Gunn versus The Factory, which are QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, and Nick Camarado. And Paul White will be doing guest commentary during that match. Malachi Black versus Brock Anderson, and Red Velvet versus Jamie Hayter. Those are the matches that have been announced. But besides the matches that have been announced, CM Punk will be appearing live, and Chris Jericho will be appearing live to discuss his future in AEW. So the match card for tomorrow night's All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite looks like it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to see it. So, anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark. So anyway, I just wanted to come on here and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark from tonight, which is August 24th, 2021. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.